Okay, Chief,
he has already handicapped
still on the same matter.
Yes.
The issue of regionalism should actually be, the agitation should be, or has been basically because of the issue of development. You know, this region, this ethnic group wants to be developed and all of that. So far, would you say it has fostered development for the nation as a whole, or how has it affected?
That is so.
Well, I think
I bring you back to the First Republic, when which you are now complaining about. The best development in this country now was the First Republic. When Awolowo was doing all the development in the West, he built Liberty Stadium. So then I built Ahmadu Bello. He started free education. Azikiwe started there. He started free, minimum wage. Azikiwe started. It was a competitive thing. That is the idea of federalism. That is why those who want the country to stay together with all the are shouting for true federalism, a unity of the country that will recognize the role of each stakeholder without anybody being feeling cheated. That is the essence of federalism. If you want to run this country as you are running, this country is having a constitution that is false. Chief Rose Williams said it, that we are having a constitution that is a federal document. You describe it in the preamble and say, we the people of Nigeria, we didn't make this constitution. It was the military. And then you say, we the people of Nigeria, the federal constitution. Are we having a federal constitution? We have military.
All right, Chief Wazirike, what's your take on that?
You know, the lack of federal structure or the inability of anybody in power to carry along all the aspects of this country, the various regions, is what has led to agitation. As it is today, the failure to carry everybody, there are 6. The way we have done it now, 6 zonal structures, as opposed to the regions, the 3, then 4. And if you remember, the agitation is even at the state level. I will give you Borno State, for instance. If you are from the Bio area, you don't think of becoming the governor of Borno, you can't. So, in this country, what we're saying is that whatever you're doing, no matter how small, carry everybody along. If you're looking for people of merit, you find them in every tribe. Everywhere. Chief Adebayo and I were at the national conference. One of the things that surprised me first was the number of women professors from the north. They were all there. And each one was speaking powerfully. And when it came to this issue of easy divorce, they were in the forefront, saying women in the north are in trouble. The more educated you are, the more trouble you are in. And they were asking for protection. In other words, things are changing. The things were changing, like Madam Gatlin said, the young people want to see unity. We're all for it. But please, whatever you are doing, carry people along. Don't lock the door against some people. A glass door, those people looking at you from outside, while you say we are discussing for this country, and the other people are watching. When you come and say, well, we have spoken for you, it doesn't make sense. Which is why the last election, yes, there was change, but please, whatever you do, carry people along, not just at the state, but at the federal level. And being Mr. President, we're saying, take the lead. Show the way. If you show the way, virtually all the state governors will make sure they carry everybody along. But if you shut out some people, first, for one reason, we're told they didn't vote for you. Second is that you are depending on merit. Third one is that those you can trust. By the time you keep marshalling that, the governors will have many reasons to shut the door, both on religious reasons, on ethnic reasons, on even financial reasons.
All right, Alhaji Liman, let's move away from this issue of marginalization and regionalism to the issue of corruption. Our president is focused, majorly on tackling corruption at the roots. In 1996 and 1983, there were coups in Nigeria, and the military cited corruption as a reason for intervening. But that means it didn't start today. How would you then describe this issue of corruption in Nigeria?
You see, Nigeria's monoproduct economy is basically an enclave economy, extractive industry, oil and gas. And so a few people that garner it are humongously very, very rich to the detriment of the rest of the country. So when His Excellency President Buhari says, I'm going to be in charge of the oil and gas industry, The experts are asking, if you're going to be in charge of that, are you going to professionalize that? Are you going to look at forward and backward integration? Are you going to also see the local content element in the process? Because as we are speaking today, even the oil sector, 95% of that oil sector is in exogenous hands. You know, it's not in the control of the Nigerian economy. So all this talks about oil and gas in the Niger Delta person will tell you that, look, I have environmental degradation and pollution and marine pollution and all these other things. So until we look at the overall paradigm in terms of the development equation and say, is it regionalism that is bringing the problem? Is it the corruption? If it is the corruption, what is the real source of the corruption? It's because of the overall emphasis, too much emphasis, you know, on the just one product. If today that product, which is subject to a lot of gyration here and there, goes kaput, the whole national economy goes into turbulence. And that's why a lot of experts are saying, look, for you to engage this economy, you need to go back to the time-tested agricultural sector, where over 60% of the national, the idle hands can be involved. And then I want to say, beyond infrastructure, which is quite key, there must be a labor-intensive capital, you know, some kind of a fusion where you can immediately begin to now bring in disposable income to a lot of the able-bodied Nigerians so that they will begin to share the prosperity of the nation. Otherwise, if you continuously depend on the oil and gas as a major component, that issue of corruption will continuously...
But Alhaji Liman, the 1966 coup, the young officers who struck at that time actually mentioned the issue of corruption.
Because nobody had cared to...
But of course, you know, oil was not a factor then.
It was a factor. And that's why I said a lot of truth has not been told about the Nigerian civil war. A lot of truth has not been told. And I hope Professor Wole Soyinka is there when he's saying he's going to come out with the story of, you know, in his next book is going to be Republic of Liars and all that kind of a thing. There was this observation that Ojukwu later, Jim Ojukwu, found out that there were external forces that were fueling that Biafran civil war. At the end of the day, he was asking Gowon, do you even know why we went to this war? Nobody to date can explain to Nigerians how and why they went to war. He, during his intelligence study, realized that some forces were fueling the Biafran air forces in Sao Tome. The same forces were fueling the federal air forces in Sao Tome. He said, so what are we fighting for? So the issue had been latent, it had not come out very clearly. It's not really corruption per se, but the predominant influence of oil and gas, and therefore bringing in foreign actors into the equation had been a major, major destabilizing factor in the Nigerian nation.
Well, you've been watching Politics Today, and we've been talking about the checkered journey of Nigeria's politics. We'll be right back after this timeout.